Well, good morning, everybody, and Peter, and John, and Frank. Uh, I've got really a couple of topics I want to talk about. The first one, Peter mentioned tools, and he went over, 4 or 5 tools that people can use to develop their business. Well, he has developed, in my mind, one of the best tools that I've ever seen in helping entrepreneurs and small business people develop their own website and be able to use it from a really commercial selling basis. And we mentioned last week, I met Peter, I guess maybe we're going on 9 months ago, and at a meeting, and he mentioned what he did, and he really, as far as building websites and training people, and I called him and we got together, and he basically taught me how to build a website, which I've done, and he's taught me the importance of a mobile website, which I've done, and he's got me blogging and podcasting and all the things that are necessary to get your name out, your brand out, and to be a successful entrepreneur. Well, he's taken the roadmap of what he did with me, and I'm sure many other people, and written an ebook uh, that really described the process he went through with me, and in such detail that if I hadn't gone through it with him, I would have been able to understand it. And then he's taken an Excel spreadsheet and put the whole training program on a spreadsheet with attached videos for everything you need to do to build your own website. And I got to tell you, I've gone through about half of them because it's really in depth, and there's a video attached to every activity that he has done himself. And Peter, I hopefully you'll talk a little bit more about it now, but I think it is one of the best training tools and roadmaps on how to take someone like myself from 0 to 10 on how to make money and be a factor on the website and social networking and everything that goes with it. So I don't know, Peter, if you want to just comment a little bit on that, I'd appreciate it.
Oh yeah, it starts to sound like an ad for me, but it wasn't. In
It's a tool. That's why I
yeah,
brought it up. It's a tool.
exactly, and and in that tool set, I mean, I needed a way to communicate this stuff as opposed to being on Skype for hours and hours and hours and hours. There's just one of me, and how do you multiply that and help more people? And so I kicked out and started doing an Excel spreadsheet kind of thing, and I've always been told that I'd make Excel do things it was never made to do. I mean, I draw with it and everything else, and being an engineer, engineers will use Excel spreadsheets all the time, and when I hyperlink it and tie it to this and do that, and they didn't know that all that stuff could be done. But at any rate, I lost a part there. This tool basically, you purchase the tool and you can sit and literally go right down the list of what you got to do to include the lessons for WYSIWYG Builder on how to get up and going quickly and efficiently. So it's a tool that I've developed. It's still in a beta sense that I need to do some stuff. And Frank, you reviewed the tool as well. What was your kind of comment? Was it easy to use?
Well, let me give you the good news and the bad news, and I guess I do that a lot. The good news, it was very easy to use and very enlightening. The bad news is I thought I could open up my own business and compete with you. It is that thorough and that to the detail that I felt like I could, in a few hours of, again, because I'm a slow learner, in a few hours of practicing, I'd be good enough to build my own website and go out and charge people money to build their websites. It is that well documented in that much detail.
Well, thank you, and that was the challenge that I wanted. I still wanted to be able to help people because I enjoy that, and but on the flip side, I got to make a living at the same time, so I've got to be building websites while I'm trying to teach
Right.
them to build their websites. So that tool was certainly put out there, and then as a book that Dick mentioned is, I think I'm going to have John and myself try to get that book up on Amazon in the Kindle store and stuff like that. But I like the book, and some people like to read, where it's a real good book from that standpoint. But the Excel tool, it's all video, and it's gorgeous, I think, from that standpoint. But the jury's still out whether people will like it or not, for sure. But so that's my shameless plug there, so to speak, Dick, for tools, but they are there.
Well, thanks, Peter. I don't think it's a shameless plug. I think it's a great educational tool. And my recommendation, as a person who's gone through it, is read the ebook before you move on to the spreadsheet, because the is it's I don't want to steal a title here on how internet marketing for dummies type of thing. You can read that book and you'll have a basic understanding. So when you get into the spreadsheet, you'll have a much better knowledge of what you're trying to do and everything. So, but again, I just wanted to bring that up because I really thought that was a great tool. The second area that you're welcome. That I want to talk about, and this is going to sound like a shameless plug because I am an independent associate for Legal Shield, but it's also very important as you're developing a business and you're hiring employees. In the whole benefits area, everybody looks at health insurance and life insurance and all the other insurances, but the overlooked area that people, I think, because they're not aware that it's available, is protecting yourself and your employees from legal issues. It is the fastest growing benefit for companies in the United States, and more and more people are looking into it. And I just have some information from a survey. But before I do that, I'm sure everyone on this is listening to this podcast has heard about identity theft, and I do a weekly blog on identity theft, and I've come across, and I quote about once a month, a website called Identity Theft Resource Center, and it really brings out just how significant an issue identity theft is in the country. Since in 2014 through April 15th, there have been 233 companies or organizations that have had security breaches. That has resulted in 5,171,507 records that have been compromised. Now, one of the things that I wrote about is you may not even be aware that your identity theft has been stolen, and it could go on for years before you found out if they steal your identity, and they don't do it with a credit card, but they do it with your taxes or your health insurance, stuff of that nature. The average cost per record breached is $90. Do the math. $90 times almost $5.2 million. 5.2 million records have been stolen. The second area that I would talk about is the cost of absenteeism due to legal issues to companies. And Harris Interactive Marketing's found that 7 out of 8 employees experienced one legal event in a year's time. Almost half of all employees experienced 3 or more legal life events, and 2/3 had 2 or more events. The end result is the employee spent an average of 7 days away from work per year, plus about 9 hours on the job dealing with the issues. And that equates to a cost of $1,625 to the employer per employee in lost productivity due to legal issues. And I think as you're putting together your benefits package for your companies and for yourself, I think it's important that you consider somehow cover yourself with identity theft and legal issues. I won't do a commercial for what Legal Shield does, but I think it's important that you understand that, as well as the lost productivity with health issues and life insurance and dental and 401ks and all the other things, this is a very important fact, and it absolutely would, it helps your employees. It costs you nothing to do, and in fact, will save you money. So I think as you're looking at your portfolio of benefits, look into the legal protection for your employees and your company. And that's it with me, Peter.